Corinne Brown is a nationally recognized entrepreneur, speaker, and creator of the Unstuck Project. Known for her authenticity, humor, and practical insight, Corinne brings heart and real life experience to every conversation. As a single mom and a business owner, she understands firsthand the chaos of juggling it all while trying to not to lose yourself in the process. With a background shaped in decades of direct sales and personal reinvention, Corinne uses her story of resilience to empower others through relatable, actionable strategies. Her journey through divorce, emotional healing, and sobriety became the foundation for the Unstuck Project, a 21-day reset designed to help others break free from the overwhelming and find momentum again. Corinne's signature style mixes real talk with a fresh twist. She's passionate about helping people shift from surviving to thriving, and one intentional step with a little laughter at the time. Um, when she's not coaching, pushing plastic, or hosting group experiences, you can find her on the softball field, uh, filming fresh food hacks for Tupperware, or dancing in the kitchen with her daughters. And with that, I give the floor to Corinne Brown. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. You know, it's funny when you just like, which bio do I send? And I realized, oh, I sent you the one for my book, and I'm not actually talking about my book on this talk. I'm actually talking about Tupperware, which is the one thing I typically don't talk about, which is what's so funny because it is ingrained in everything that I am. So I'm just excited to be able to be here and to share with all of you guys, not only just the fresh perspectives that my life in Tupperware has brought, but also just how that has changed who I am and allowed me to be the entrepreneur that I am. Guys, my name is Corinne Brown. Such a pleasure to be here for you guys, not only just to share with you again a fresh perspective, but just a little bit about the way of the Tupper life. I don't know. As I like to say, I was born, raised, and burped in Tupperware. Now, if you guys have heard that phrase before about being burped in Tupperware bowl, I want you to put it in the chat because this is interactive. And I want to know, like, did you have Tupperware growing up? Did you go to a Tupperware party? Do you think that Tupperware is all plastic? Are you a Tupper virgin? And you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But when you hear Tupperware, what do you hear? And I do want you guys to put that in the chat and put that in there while I tell you more about myself and who I am, because I just want to know your thoughts here. And then I got to get over here so I can actually see the chat so you can show me. Yeah, show the chat, please. Why aren't you showing it to me? Because this is what it does. Yeah, I see how you are today. It's because I'm sharing my screen. It doesn't want to show me all these things. It's okay. We'll come back to the chat in a second. I'll find you. I found you. Just kidding. I did find you. I found you right here. I found if I named my computers at a very young age and I yelled at them, it wasn't as bad. Fun sidetrack. We're going to take a few of them today. I was actually editor of my yearbook back in high school, and I named the computers. This is back when we had desktops and Apple wasn't really Apple yet. It was still kind of that Macintosh situation. I named them so I could yell at them. So that's kind of fun. All right, back in the chat if you have Tupperware. I see some of you guys are Tupper fans. They had it, but it was Tuckerware. Some people thought it was Tupperware. Okay, totally cool. I'm glad you have that. The colors, yes, you could tell the color based upon when someone got married, typically. The Shapo toy is in the Smithsonian Museum, my friends. Tupperware is an American icon. There's actually an exhibit. Can you believe it? So I love this because I was born, raised, and burped in Tupperware. And what I mean by that is that I did grow up in this business. My mom sold Tupperware when I was growing up. In fact, she trained at a meeting the night before literally I was born. She got home from the hospital in time for the FedEx guy to come by to let the next Tupperware lady on the route know that I was here, because it was such a Tupper family that they had as I grew up in this business. My parents owned a Tupperware franchise. In fact, my dad quit his job as a research biologist back in 1989, my friends, to do Tupperware full time with my mom. So while a lot of other kids are learning how to ride bikes and this and that, yes, I played in creeks. I believe in mud pies and imaginary friends. I think we need more of them out there. But typically for me, I was helping to sort tiny treasures. I was learning how to burp a Tupperware bowl or how to help coach women to empower them to be the best versions of themselves. But a little bit of me officially, so you know, I have been in direct sales for over 24 years. I guess I should use this PowerPoint that I put together for you guys. I do understand the ups and downs of a job. Now, do you guys know what a job is? If you do, I want you to put in the chat because some people don't. Okay, we're going to come back to that. I'm a live selling specialist. And I am passionate about connecting people, teaching them, and helping to spark that change that is needed. And that change comes from the inside out, something that I learned through Tupperware, because it totally is more than just plastic bowls. Now, what is a yob, my friends? A yob, that is your own business. When you have a job, it just makes you go broke mentally, physically, but yob is your own business. And for many of you that are on here, you probably are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, small business owners, and you're connected back into the community. And it's that ability to make the decisions that also is a weight of making decisions. But having a job has ups and downs, and it's something that is a fresh perspective unless you've been there. You don't always get. Now, growing up in this business, my friends, I have watched hundreds of women and men gather together from laughter and stories about the products to the snacks. It's not just someone popping a lid or showing off a gadget, something that will save them time, space, and waste. It was in the process selling confidence right along with those containers. Those trainings, my friends, were a huge part of my childhood. They weren't just about plastic, they were about people. They were about what you could do when you believe and when you have a quality to stand behind where you can go. It is decades later that I realized something, and that the Tupperware party itself wasn't just about the innovations or this quality product, right? It was about tools that help provide solutions. My friends, we were doing live selling at Tupperware parties back before live selling was even a thing, before the term was even coined. That's what the Tupperware party was. And the Tupperware party was led by a wonderful, amazing woman named Brownie Wise. And she trained these women to demonstrate, engage, to create that sense of urgency. Isn't that what we get with live selling today? That sense of urgency. And all of this was live. The difference was these parties were all algorithm free. These audiences were built through relationships and connections, literally one bowl at a time, as we went through the homes and you made new friends, new fellowship, new relationships, and more. Now, today, as you scroll through TikTok or Facebook, you see live shopping everywhere, right? I mean, people are cooking, people are showing in pro or products, people are influencers, they are engaging in real time. You are seeing all different types of social selling or what we call live selling. Even this industry, right? There's a whole entire billion-dollar industry that's wrapped around it now. And I don't think people realize how it is a multi-billion dollar industry, not just Amazon Live, Instagram Live shopping, TikTok Shop, all the other platforms that are out there. Um, the truth is, though, long before that social media, long before ring lights, long before Wi-Fi, long before QVC, my friends, or even the Home Shopping Network, there was Tupperware. We were live selling, going from living rooms to live selling. And I just think that's really cool. And I'm going to tell you that all day long because who would have thunk, right? The plastic bowls actually was setting the pace for not only the way we connect, the way we sell, the way we're sold, the way we offer solutions, the way we build connections and relationships through products. What really is an influencer in a lot of ways, too. The home party was the original version of live shopping. They just didn't have hashtags for it. So I want you to think about this, right? We have a hostess. Basically, it's the algorithm of the party. These are the people that gathered her network and created the engagement. Okay, so I want you to think about live selling of what you know in the virtual space and then think about what it is at home because you're having this hostess who is building the trust for you, right? You have the consultant who's the live seller who's demonstrating the products, storytelling, answering those questions, and creating that sense of urgency. It's where the kitchens move. We move from kitchens to cameras on all these different platforms, and they all mirror the exact same exact same principles, which is why this formula is so like similar for all of you. If you've bought, let me ask you this. If any of you guys have bought on a live selling platform, actually put it in the chat because I'm kind of curious. If you have, where have you bought from? Have you found that there was authentic storytelling that made you buy the product? Is it that it is someone who you were viewing for a long time and you think you know, like, and trust this person through interactions of videos? Is that why you bought that product? The live selling demos, is it not the exact same formula? Because it's engagement, excitement, and it's trust. And if you guys have seen that, I do want to know, put that in the chat because I want to know if you have experienced this before. Okay, it's a new term for you. All right. I love it. It's always good to see. So we're going basically from where it was with live selling with the Tupperware party, from living rooms to live selling today. Now, you guys have all though heard the terms influencer, right? Where someone is an influencer, someone, it's the way they help to sell with socially selling. Well, I want you to think about this analogy, just as people are out there talking about, oh, did you see this influence, this person who brought up this and that? I want you to never, ever, if nothing else today, forget the name Brownie Wise, because Brownie Wise was the original influencer. She's the first woman who ever graced the cover of Business Week magazine in 1954. And for all of my women on here, not to discount the men, but that's a big deal, right? Like, how exciting is that, that this is a product that helped pave the way for women? Interesting. There's a whole term called the Tupperware effect, where Tupperware, about in the 2010s, started this whole thing called chain of confidence. And they actually built these chain of confidence groups of women leaders in all these different countries around the world. And they actually measured the confidence effect that Tupperware brought, where by bringing Tupperware into these different countries, empowering these women, where they can then take ownership, build their own businesses, build their own lives, build their own thing using Tupperware as a vehicle. It changed the power of the women because of the belief inside themselves that it helped to bring out upon everybody. Tupperware bowls, right? Like, it's more than plastic bowls. It is about people. And that's why Brownie Wise is the original influencer. That's why Brownie Wise is something that literally shaped everything there is about me because of what she did to help us create the Tupperware party model. If you guys went to a Tupperware party growing up, if you've been to any sort of thing since then, this is all coming from this amazing lady who decided to go into homes because the product wasn't selling on the shelves. And she said, you know what? We need to find a way to sell this. And instead of letting it sit on the shelves as Earl Tupper, who invented Tupperware back in 1946, thought was the best way to sell this product, she took this amazing bowl, put water in it, and started throwing it at the guest at the party. She showed what interaction is, what live demonstration is, how you can literally see it and feel it and then want it. Because it was offering a solution for a problem people didn't even realize that they had or what they needed. So it's giving this great solution for people. Then in the process, she empowered those women to build independence and income from home. She empowered them to go further than they had before. Before social media, she built community through connection before we even had high tech. Brownie Wise is the original high touch that we needed to grow as a people and a society in a lot of ways. Now, you could disagree with me, but I would definitely say that long before ring lights, Wise was the original influencer. And that's exactly what TikTok is today. So it's kind of like going down a little history rabbit hole. It's really important for me to always understand like where we came from to understand where we are and why live selling is so powerful today and how Tupperware helped to shape that. Okay, so growing up between in Tupperware, it is more than just the bowl. I want to share that with you because in the world of direct sales, some people talk about MLMs, this, that, and the other, but for me, it was so much more. I didn't realize at the time, but these Tupperware parties that I went to taught me more about leadership, connection, and human behavior than any business class could or would. I have watched women who never saw themselves as salespeople discover their power. I've seen my parents build a business built on relationships, not just algorithms. My friends, there is something magical about watching someone's face light up when they realize I can do this too. And I'm sure everyone here that's part of the Rotary, you believe in this message as well, because it's when people feel seen, heard, and valued, they believe. And it's not just about buying, it's also of jumping into a cause. Buying into something isn't money, it's also something that is a feeling that is invoked inside of you. Knowing you want to go help in Honduras. I mean, is that not buying into an idea of knowing I'm here to make a difference? God put me on this earth for a reason and to go and to share. And that is what I mean by it is so much beyond the bowl. I have watched so many people change and grow. And I do believe this has the same ties as we would with the Rotary, just when you think about Tupperware. So I'm so grateful that I'm able to be here and just share a little bit of the history of Tupperware, but the history of live selling, the history of how an incredible product that we have today is still shaping us, shaping the way not only we sell and the way we're influenced, but the way we can make money and grab hold of anything that we want to achieve in life. It is a vehicle that can help you grow the community along with it. I do believe the heart of Tupperware is a lot like the heart of the Rotary because it's the same laughter, energy, and belonging. Guys, that's what makes it all work. So I know there's some questions and I'm going to answer all of them for you, but I want to talk last little thing just about how Tupperware's come full circle from the home parties. Some of you guys have asked questions I see about COVID. And actually, let me jump in and answer that one because it kind of helps with how we're innovating again. People have asked the questions with live selling available. Did COVID affect our methods? 100%. And what percentage of sellers are full-time rather than supplemental? Well, I'll come back to that one. But when it comes to online, it's interesting what I call the COVID effect. So everyone was at home, right? And our Facebook parties and our digital presence in group type virtual parties skyrocketed. We had some of the best sales that we had had in decades in 2020, 2021, 2022. But then it started falling. People got back into relationships, back to cooking at home, and everyone went to social media. Now, the problem with that I think a lot of people are seeing now today, as we're 6 years post-pandemic in a lot of ways, is the real pandemic that came from the pandemic was mental health. And so many people had hurled up into their devices that they had lost what connection was. So on one end, we are growing like crazy on social media with group parties and live selling and things like that, but we aren't doing home parties anymore. People forgot how to get together and actually hang out with people. People forgot how to have more than 90-second conversations. And it's sad in a lot of ways, but I think we're moving back on the other end of the pendulum. You know how like everything in life swings from one end to the other. Social selling has too, where we kind of go from one end to everyone wanting to be kind of distant to now people are wanting to get back. And it's finding where that fit is in between. Point of this, people want the connection, they want to see each other, just like with you guys here with your Rotary meeting. The fact that we are able to connect with someone in Uganda and all over the world because of the virtual connection that we have here. Tupperware now built an incredible new platform called Tupperware Live, where you basically have your own QVC now built into Tupperware's website and platform. So I can have people that host parties now all over the US. I can see you just like I see every single one of you right here on the Zoom. I can see your faces. I can see your engagement, if you're nodding your head or not. I actually know, that you're hearing me. Some of the other parties, you can't do that. And the beauty of the party, I personally feel, is that energy that you get off of other people, the sharing of ideas. And that is what makes us better as a society, I think, which is why Tupperware is just such a great platform. But Tupperware Live gives us this now. So now Tupperware is innovating and going, okay, we know we like technology. We know we like the digital. We still want to see each other. Let's build our own platform that links to the website so we can support our sales force. They realize that we're going to continue on for another 75 years. And Tupperware is a brand new company as of January 2025. Now, with this, each consultant always has their own website that they get for free that they can then use as this live selling platform where they can watch, chat, buy directly in a live stream. It's actually a lot of fun, and it's a lot of great ways to be able to connect to everybody. I will say this is definitely with them coming out with this new platform. It's a great way to show that there's proof that Tupperware continues to evolve with the times. Platforms change, but the principles have stayed the same. We've had a few omni channels where we've sold in some stores and we have sold in some stores. But honestly, it's really smart marketing on Tupperware's part. It's just that there's a lot of misinformation in the media where basically the 15 SKUs Tupperware has in Target paid Tupperware to share these SKUs, which basically means Target is paying Tupperware to promote their products. but they're only allowing them 15 SKUs. They're only allowing them a limited amount. And on every piece of Tupperware is a QR code to take them back to a local consultant. So it's really smart in some ways, but you have to be innovative. You have to think outside the box and you have to look at different ways to reach people. I've done a lot of training for Tupperware lately as I do a TikTok shop and I am live on TikTok selling a few times a week and I'm helping to build that platform too for Tupperware. The thing is we have to meet people where they are and we also have to go where we want to be. But with Tupperware as the vehicle, it's really great to know that you can still have that confidence, courage, and community no matter where you're at because the way the platform will evolve with it. Authenticity is the best marketing tool. Demonstration of a product and being open and honest is the way you get anywhere good in business. The skills that you learn in Tupperware can shape someone for the rest of their life, no matter what business they want to go from there. So that's just a little bit about my Tupperware party. I'm going to answer some more of y'all's questions, but I want to leave you with this one thought before I go through and just rapid fire answer the rest of the questions that you guys have on here. Is the biggest takeaway that I want you to learn or take from my Tupperware as the first live seller is the power of connection. And I want you all just to take away that, Tupperware is a brand. Tupperware is for those who want the best, not the rest. But Tupperware didn't just sell containers. What Tupperware contained is confidence, courage, and community. It always has been, and it always will be. It is a brand that is about lifting others while also saving them time, space, and waste. And just as a little thought for you guys, next time you scroll past any seller, I want you to remember Tupperware was doing it first. No matter what type of party they're having on the TV, we just had better snacks. Okay, so let me go through and answer some of these questions. My favorite Tupperware product, Julie, I'm a Tupperholic, okay? I love it all, but I would definitely say one of my favorites is the Micro Pro Grill. It is metal for the microwave, and it is the bomb.com, my friend. You can do a grilled cheese sandwich literally in 5 minutes in the microwave. At my in-person parties, I will do chicken fajitas. You take literally chicken strips, peppers and onions, mix it all together in the Micro Pro Grill, metal for the microwave, 6 minutes. All it takes, and it's grilled to perfection. The chicken is cooked, and your microwave uses 70% less energy. And no, you cannot get radiation from your microwave. So there's that. Buy from you if you want some products, Dan. Well, I'm glad you asked that. You'll see right here is my information on the board as I'm sharing my screen. Is it still sharing my screen? Did I do it? Is it still there? It's still sharing, isn't it? I think so. I did share. Did I take it?
I'm sorry, it bumped out. Thank you very much.
It's okay. Here we go. There's all my information, my friends. So you can grab me, twcorinne.com. You can also scan here. I got another little, if you want to screenshot this, and then I'll switch to the next page is a landing page. I do a mystery host party once a month. If you guys want to come in and check out this new platform, see what it's all about, that's how you are going to get on my email list. And I'll pop that up on the screen in just a second. Just go to the landing page, fill it out, and you'll be on the email list. Guys, I don't spam you. I don't have time. If I'm lucky, I get one email out a month. I try really hard. I write them in my head. They just don't get sent out. Okay. The board is not listening. We're working on my people up there. As we're getting it all taken care of. But this is the cool thing is, I don't know, Tupperware is just amazing to me. And it's amazing all the great benefits that you can have. Now, let me get back to the chat because I know there were some more questions for it. How do you compete with Rubbermaid? Well, Ken, that's a really great question. I like to tell people you can have the best or you can have the rest. Typically, you put your trash in Rubbermaid and you put your food in Tupperware. There's also people will talk about that it's seals and lids, and respectfully, lids are for toilets, seals are for Tupperware. So if you want to lock in the freshness, I can help you with that because all of our round seals are liquid and airtight. In fact, we do have silicone bags now that are oven safe. Well, if you want to see, these are amazing. Some of the newest innovations that we have. This one, the International Red Dot Design Award. Now, how many 76-year-old companies do you know that still win awards? I'm just kind of proud of this company, but it's a patented closure that's liquid and airtight. So it's seals up all the way with a little zipper. This does go in the oven as well as the microwave, the freezer, and the fridge. So if you're wanting to meal prep, works really great where you can have your own steam bags, save a ton of money that way as well. And then it also flips inside out and goes in the dishwasher. So it cleans out all the grooves. Now, unlike the other stuff that you get at the big box stores, this does open up to every corner. So you actually can clean it out without cursing and making making some choice words you didn't want to say out loud be said, because that's what will happen when you get frustrated by the imitations that are not duplications. Okay. So you can have the best Tupperware brand or not. And there you go. There is still a limited lifetime warranty for cracking, breaking, splitting, and peeling. Unfortunately, right now, that program is not available because they just switched the warehouse to the middle of the US. But follow me, make sure you keep my connection and my information, and I'll be sure to let you know when it is available again. I will go ahead and switch this here. This is if you want to go to this right here, the MailChimp or / the fresh extract / mystery. Probably easier if I put that in the chat, wouldn't it? I don't know. Well, I'll get it all sent out to you guys. And that way you can join the mystery host party that I have a few times a week. That's how you can get things for free and see some other items that I don't always have personally. Where is Tupperware manufactured? The majority of our products are still made in the US of A. We actually have a couple factories that's in Illinois now. Our centralized distribution is in Salt Lake City, I believe. We do have a main manufacturer in Mexico. We also have a main manufacturer in Greece still, because we are still an international company. The thing I will tell you about Tupperware is that when Tupperware has other people make stuff for us, it is designed by Tupperware, made for Tupperware. Tupperware does not white label. Okay. You'll see a lot of other companies out there that do white label. Basically, it's the same product. They just put their name on. Tupperware Brands has never, ever, ever done that. So when things are made in other countries, a lot of times it's because we have a market in that country. And to ship a mold from one country to the other costs more than just making it and shipping it so that they can keep the cost down internationally for the company. It's a little bit more about logistics than with the idea of outsourcing. Because I get that question a lot, like, do they go other things? Well, we're a worldwide company. That's why. How active did I answer all that's sold online versus parties? Ken, that's a really good question. I would probably say 70% of it now is online, but a lot of the online is online parties, simply because we key all the orders in ourselves too. So there's really nothing in person, as far as we don't have an office we go to anymore. Everyone has a back office. So when someone joins our business, they get a website for free. Friends and family can go onto that website, shop 24/7. The consultant gets 25%. If I'm doing an in-person party, in-person event where I'm placing orders, then I just go key the orders in the back office myself and it's shipped off and taken care of. But typically I do parties. So I would say 50% of everything is still the party. It's just what type of party.
So Corinne, there were one or two questions further back that, because I know people are still putting them in, but one was about, let's see, plastic, something, you get comments, or how would you respond to somebody who says, well, I just I can't do plastic?
That's a very valid question. There's a lot of information and misinformation out there. For example, there are hundreds of grades of plastic out there, my friends, and not all plastic is equal. Many of them are food safe. Many of them are microwave safe, oven safe, like the silicone bags. It depends on what the composite of the plastic is. So to sit there and say all plastic is bad, it's a very generalized and inaccurate statement. You need to make sure you understand what the composites and things are made out of. Tupperware, the brand, has never had BPA, carcinogens, dioxins, or phthalates. Those are the carcinogens that you really have to worry about. Phthalates are what makes your water bottle pliable. So, your Deer Park bottles, things like that. They say you don't want to have your water bottles, don't freeze them, don't put them in a car on a hot day because the plastic will leak into your water. That's the phthalates they're talking about that leak. Tupperware brand products does not have phthalates, so you don't have to worry about that. There is no BPA in our products either, as well as the others. Plus, it's interesting with BPA. I actually had a scientist on my team at one time, and they said BPA only leaks from plastic when it's heated up to 550 degrees. Typically, that only happens if your house is on fire. So there's all
That's
that.
the least of your problems, is what you're saying.
Correct. Same thing like getting radiation from your microwave. The likelihood of that is the likelihood of you getting sunburnt on your roof at midnight with a full moon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you could also talk about microplastics. There's a lot of stuff about microplastics out there. But unfortunately, in the world that we live today, every single person consumes at least a half a credit card of microplastics just in the air that you breathe. So to sit there and say it's one thing or the other, I'm going to disagree.
Mm-hmm. There was one other question, and thank you for that. It's a
Absolutely.
really interesting take on that question, and you answered it really, really well with a lot of knowledge, obviously, and research behind it. The question was back up for earlier about the percentage of people who use Tupperware sort of as a supplement to their income versus those who just go in with both feet.
That's a really great question. And I would love to know the accurate number of that because I am a numbers girl. What I can tell you is that a direct sales business or a side hustle of any sorts, no matter what, I call it the vehicle because the reality is it's this type of opportunity is a vehicle to take you somewhere. It's like any job, right? And so let's compare it with an entry level job. Out of an entry level job, you have 10 people. Of 10 people that get hired at an entry level job, three people will never show up to work. Okay. They get hired, but they never show up. It's like, what happened? I told you you had this job. They just ghost you completely. Three people will show up and they'll decide that it's too much work. Or in Tupperware's case, they'll go, oh, you mean I have to do things? You mean people won't just come to me? But I posted my website, I posted and prayed. Isn't that enough? Like that's three. So you got three and three already. Then three people will come in, they'll see the opportunity for it, but they'll just do what they have to do to get by. Okay. That's the people that just are your pencil pushers that are your job, entry level jobs. They do what they have to do. They're never really going to see the potential. And one out of 10 see the opportunity and actually go for it. They put the time in. They look at it as an opportunity to learn and to grow because the more you learn, the more you earn. One in 10. That concept is the same with direct sales as there is with entry level jobs. It's across the board. I want to say it's changed a little bit because I do think there is some entitlement as some of the new generations. But I don't want to generalize that because I'm not patting myself on the back, but I've raised two amazing humans that do work really hard. So I think it's a lot of variables and we can't just push one thing here or there. But I do think it's an opportunity that if you choose to run with it, you can go incredible places. It's just realizing that you have to be consistent and you have to do the work. And I think anyone that's joining the workplace now needs to realize that you got to do the work, put your time in, and then you'll get where you want to go.
Yeah. Thank you. And there's another question related to recipes. I guess well, I put it in there. It's a two-part question. What's the one that you just really have to use in all of your shows? Was it so fun or yummy? And secondly, I imagine there are Tupperware cookbooks and of course, they probably also promote the types of where you would use with those recipes. But can you talk a little bit about the food itself?
Yeah. So if you scan the QR code, I just pulled it back up on the screen for you. That takes you to my flow page. On there, there is a Fresh Friends recipe drive where it's all kinds of cookbooks on there for all of our premium products. Basically, just as at a Tupperware party, we love sharing recipes. I love giving them to you. When you order on my TikTok shop, I even like send you a recipe card. If you see me in person, typically give you something. This month, I'm giving out little pumpkin pie spice to people with a little recipe on the back. We're all about, freshening your life, my friends. So there are a lot of great recipes at parties. It depends. One of my go-tos is that I always do fresh salsa, simply because our supersonic chopper is so amazing. It's one of the staples that's part of our kit. It's just one of those things where you go, what? And if people realize that you could start making a difference in your home with just salsa, when you can start making a difference in your home with something small, like then taking that salsa and turning it into three different dips simply, or taking that salsa, throwing it with your chicken and you have dinner. Like Taco Tuesday is not just a funny thing because it's simple. Like it makes sense. Like, hello, I don't have to think anymore. It's tacos on Tuesday. Doesn't it make our life easier here? Simple solutions. And that's the whole thing is, guys, to be healthy, convenience doesn't have to cost, okay? It can cost your waistline, or it can cost your wallet, or it can cost you time. But if you make it fun, if you bring your family together, I'm jumping around because I'm sitting here thinking about I love teaching meal prep classes, and then I love that product for this, and now I'm going down a rabbit hole, and I'm a squirrel and I embrace all the branches. So, next question.
Ken is inviting you to Rotary.
If you connect with one, to may understand the service above. Well, thank you, Ken. I appreciate the invite.
Oh, another question here. Yeah.
Oh, the oldest one ever seen in use. That's a really good one. So I had some really amazing customers that actually gave me a set of the Millionaire Collection measuring cups. And I'm like, I'm picturing them in my head right now. They actually had like the little seal on there and it said the Millionaire line. Like, if you have been in Tupperware, you'll know there's a whole cult following, okay, with certain amazing classic pieces. Go beyond the Smithsonian Museum. Like, we actually have a foundation that's getting put together with the classic pieces that people are like, what is this? So I had these really cool, amazing little measuring cups that someone had gotten me. And that probably is like one of the coolest, oldest pieces that personally I've had. Have I seen some of the others? Absolutely, because I am that person. I have a drive on my computer with like old Tupperware commercial songs, and I play the jingles, and I will dance around the house and sing the jingles because I'm the lady with the fresh ideas. Yeah, good stuff. I had as one schedule a party with me, my friends. Well, you could do in person or remote. If you go to that little flow code again, it has all of my links. You can actually get on my calendar. So I do a lot of things. As I said, I am a squirrel and I embrace all the branches. I love Tupperware. I love coming into your homes and doing an in-home party because my parties are awesome. I mean, they were featured on CBS Sunday Morning, just saying. And it's just better. There's something about that human connection, right? So you can do in-home parties, you can schedule it, get on my calendar, or you can do a virtual party, kind of like the QVC I was talking about on our new platform that we have. And I need people to help me test this out to get people on to show that it works. So I'll give you a bonus gift if you help me with that as well. And then if you just want to have fun coaching and mentoring, I do that stuff too. Like, all that stuff's on there. So all my links are on the little QR code. That's how you can date a party with me in person or remote. Country with the most volume of parties. That's a really good question. I think the US is the top right now. At one point it was Australia, but I haven't looked recently. They do have a lot of charitable foundations. Now, I will say, as of January 2025, Tupperware is a brand new company. We actually had some restructuring that went on, but now we're privately owned again, which is really actually a great thing. And I'm so excited for the future because of it. The Boys and Girls Club, though, was a huge partner of ours for a really long time. Girls on the Run was a huge partner of ours for a while. I need to check and see if we have a current one right now. I know they put things on hold as we were getting the new foundation set. But Tupperware has always been about giving back. I mean, it's about gratitude first. I think it's why this company is just as amazing as it is, where it puts the people first. And yes, I do fundraiser parties. So we could do a super fun in-person event if you wanted, where actually we could do it like a stop and shop. I actually will go into hospitals and I do events in different groups. I did one for the Veterans Club actually once, or what, the Veterans Lodge. What is the other one? Not the Masons, it's the Veterans. The VFW. Yes, at the VFW. And I went in and did a small shop, kind of like how my fun display is, but we bring the racks in and we bring the store to your door. And then 20% cash goes back to your organization that you want to give it to. But then people can get their Christmas shopping done or things in person. And so it's a fun way. I always am like, let's find a good solution. Yes, I've been to Dixie's Tupperware party. Actually, Chris Anderson, who is Dixie Longate, is a very good friend of mine, Dan. I have a show called Fresh Tip Tuesday I did on my YouTube. And so Chris is actually on one of those episodes with me. We were doing burrito bowls and tequila shots. That was a while ago because I've been sober now for 6 years, but little things, little things. The more you learn, the more you earn. And especially in the Tupperware bowls. Yeah, I actually had a really good friend of mine that was a drag queen on my team here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Her persona was Carmen Banks. She's actually a beautiful Tupperware lady.
Okay, I think we answered all the questions. If we missed one and yours did not get addressed, please shout out now. Um, everybody's good, I guess. Okay. Wow. Lene raised her hand.
Yeah, just real quick, easier to say than type. Corinne, this has just been hugely sent me down memory lane for one thing. I still have Tupperwares, and when Mama died and we cleaned out her house, my sister and I divided it all up. That was more precious to us than some of the china. And so I just thank you. I think it's been a fabulous presentation, and I couldn't say that quickly typing. So there you go.
It's okay. I talk fast too, so we always joke. My long bio that Dan got to read there, I was like, poor thing, I should have given him a shorter bio. Like, I love his deep voice, but he's fumbling a little bit there. But when I'm on the softball field, I always joke because it's I have fast lips, not fast legs, so I can yell and scream all day long, but I have to hit a homer to get on base.
My goodness. Um, yeah, I think Lene's got an idea. One of our internationally, one of Rotary's big focus points is eradicating polio. And there's just wild polio, a handful of cases left in 2 countries in the world, in Afghanistan and Pakistan. And anybody who actually was alive in the 50s and 60s and was aware of the pure terror that parents, families had of children contracting polio knows how far we've come. A lot of it due to Rotary. I think the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation ended up matching millions and millions of dollars with Rotary. And so this would be in our wheelhouse, definitely, to host a party for polio.